Hello everyone. There might be a video before this just showing the generator and also the mount that I made, but I'm not sure if I'll put it before this or after this. But anyway, I'm gonna go for. Usually I take the car to run errands in school, but today I'm gonna take the bike because it's so nice outside. It's probably 62, 63 degrees. And later this week it's gonna get colder again. So I think it's a good time to just enjoy the weather while it's nice. Of course, obviously it's gonna get nice again as time permits. But for now, it's so nice that I'm just gonna ride my bike to all these different places. And I put a pretty big charge on it. I almost filled it to the max, 84 volts. So I can really juice it at the moment just to get where I need to go. But it's so nice. It's not even necessary at the moment to obviously to. I didn't want to turn in front of that cop there, so decided just to wait a little bit. Of course, he's pulling behind me, so that's nice. But just let him pass first. Yeah, so it's such a nice day that I'm just gonna bike around a little bit. First, I'm gonna go into the circle so he doesn't see if this guy follows me. Hopefully not, but anyway. Never know these cops. Anyway, yeah, I think he passed. So yeah, I'm gonna go bike. I have to run a whole bunch of different errands. So the thing with the generator, it was delayed like another week because apparently I had the wrong wow, it's actually kind of windy. I had the wrong charger. And I think the confusion came when in China. So basically everything comes from China. But the way China labels their chargers and the way America labels their chargers is different. So the charger that I bought before, the output said 84 volts, 3 amps, which is obviously what I need for a 72 volt nominal battery. But when I checked it with the multimeter, it actually read 96 volts. Which means that labeling is actually for an 84 volt nominal battery, which I guess there is some golf carts and maybe other things are like that. But yeah, I was good thing I checked it with the multimeter, which is something you should always do with any new piece of electronics that you're plugging into any kind of system. So just double check it first, because here obviously I wasn't aware that there was a difference between the nomenclature of the charger between the United States and China. And second, yeah, had I plugged that into my system, the batteries would have blown up. That wouldn't be good. It probably would have caused the batteries would probably died or caused a fire. So, but I got the right charger that says 72 volt, 3 amps on the output. So hopefully that's the right charger. Otherwise, that's going to be another delay. And I also bought a another bike stand for the bike, because yeah, I think it's gonna be heavy. Have you seen the video beforehand? I think I built it pretty well. I don't think it's gonna break off, because there's gonna be 3 levels of redundancy on that L bracket, on that L section. The first is obviously just the wood screws that are screwed horizontally into the two boards, which gives it more support than if it was to be screwed vertically. Obviously, because if the board has to break, it will have to break. It would have to shear off the. It would have to actually shear off the those wood screws, which is pretty difficult to do. They're pretty high quality screws. And the second thing is that I have 2 L brackets, or I'm not sure to call L brackets, but they're anodized L brackets. They're hardened compared to just a plain zinc one, and they're pretty heavy duty. I think I think those 2 brackets can probably just support my weight, and obviously I weigh more than that 25-pound generator. So I think it should work. And then the third redundancy is that there's going to be a support from top of the there's going to be like just a brace support, or not brace support, yeah, just like a diagonal support from the top of the one board to the bottom of the other board. So that's the third support. And then that should be enough, I will hope. And then around that is going to be, it's just about 2 inches of like just plain old board, or a 1x2, just to keep it from bouncing out. And of course I will have to strap it down. I'll just do, I haven't bought the straps yet, so I need to buy the straps, and I don't think a bungee cord will hold it. It's going to be enough to hold it, so I do need to get a strap for it. Wouldn't want to do a strap. It looks kind of shitty, crappy, but I think that would be okay for now, because this is just a prototype. And the other thing is, I need to figure out if it all works out correctly. I need to buy a power meter or watt meter for the 72V system. I looked at them. I'm not quite sure about how to wire it with a shunt, and you need to wire with a shunt, so you have to expose your circuit. And I don't like to do that because, you know, this stuff isn't, this 72 volts, there's quite a lot of power going through that. If I accidentally touch that shunt or something like that, you know, and it's exposed, then, you know, that's going to be pretty painful, or it's going to cause a dangerous situation. So I don't know if I want to do that. But if I don't get a power meter, then how am I going to know what the true effects of this generator is going to be? You know what I mean? No, the only way I would be able to tell is like, okay, if I went 20 miles and I'm expecting the generator to fall, the voltage to drop 10 or not 10 volts, to drop 5 volts, and it only drops 2 volts. Okay, that's great, but that really doesn't tell me anything other than, okay, it works. It doesn't give me any concrete numbers. It's saying, okay, you know, what the efficiency is of the whole system. So I really need to think about that. I really need to think about getting the voltmeter, because it seems to be pretty important to just kind of formalize the documentation of this build. So I'm here to school. I just need to print something real quick, and then I'll come back online afterwards, or I'll come back and make another video to the post office. Okay, printed out the shipping label for returning the charger. So now I'm gonna head off to the mail, or the post office, which is also pretty close. I'm running a pretty full charge at the moment. I left from 83, so now I'm at 8.5. Haven't been really going too fast, but not really necessary to go, especially if I want to talk a little bit about stuff. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the voltmeter, or not voltmeter, sorry, the power meter. So it might be necessary just to kind of formalize everything. The way EV vehicles works is they measure it by watt hours per mile. So it's important to know like how my watt hour per mile drops with the generator setup and what I get. And also obviously I need to measure the fuel consumption, the gas consumption, and whatnot. So there's a lot. I'm not sure if I can just say that, okay, yeah, it works. I can charge while I'm riding. I can charge if I get to the location, wherever I'm going. I can charge whenever I need to charge using the generator. I'm not sure if that's just enough to say, but kind of want some concrete numbers. Well, I would know. Obviously, I would know what the actual power coming from the generator is through the rating of the charger. So the charger would be 84 volts, 3 amps, which is around 242 volts, or sorry, 242 watts. So actually, I know what that is, but so if I'm using 500 watts, just going at 12 miles, 17 miles per hour at 500 watts. I know that charger is providing me half that power, and half of it's coming from the battery. But it might not. But it might be good just to know what the watt hour per mile is, and also eventually normalize that by weight. See what the true efficiency is compared to an electric vehicle like Tesla or a Leaf or whatever is out there at the moment. Yeah, so that's the other thing I have to think about. But I guess that's maybe going a little bit too far ahead at the moment. I think the main thing now is just to make sure that it's working. And that video will be coming up pretty shortly. I'm expecting to get the new charger by tomorrow. So I'm hoping to, and later in the mid this week it's gonna get cold again, so we're just for a couple days, so I'm hoping to test it before that time. And to do that, I need to wire everything up. It's not wired up at the moment. It's still wired for 2 batteries. Well, I guess I could wire up now, but I could do some of the wiring now. So maybe I'll do some of the wiring either tomorrow before the charger arrives. Yeah, I'll probably do some of the wiring before the charger arrives tomorrow. And then once the charger arrives, I'll test it, make sure there's the correct voltage coming out of the charger. And then, you know, plug it into the bike, and then turn on the generator. Plug that into the bike, plug the generator and battery into the bike, and just to test every single thing, every single component before, you know, separately before plugging everything together. So that's kind of the plan. That's what the plan is, to test everything separately, and then eventually more and more components together, and finally obviously with everything together running at the same time. And this will be tested outside, obviously, in case something blows up, which I don't expect it to blow up. If the voltages are correct, you know, nothing should blow up, but who knows, maybe I did something really stupid or something like that. Yeah, but that's the test. And the other thing is, I went to an actual bike store and I showed them the bike, just talked to the guy. I'm not sure, he's like a assistant manager or something like that, but that bike store by me actually has electric bikes. Some mid-drive bikes, which are pretty cool. So I was talking to that guy about bikes, about e-bikes and stuff like that, and he was impressed with my e-bike. He actually wanted me to work there to try to help sell some of those e-bikes, but you know, I went there actually to get help with my bike, because this bike is so bad. The rear wheel is so untrue. There's no brakes on the back. I was trying to get help just to, like, you know, tune it up in case I do want to go across the state. I need to make sure it's not a piece of shit, or it has proper brakes and everything is working correctly before I do that. Yeah, it was fun. Going faster than the cars, or leaving the car off the line. But anyway, now I'm at the post office, so I have to run in our errand. So this video is probably getting a little bit too long. So I showed you my plans for the generator build, how I'm going to mount it, and also thing that I have to consider is how high I want to mount it off of the how high I want to mount it off of the mount. Obviously, the lower the better. Lower the better, but the axle might be in the way or it won't be in the way. I just have to make sure I make a bore hole for it, or a pocket for it, and then it should be fine. next video will be the video of it all running, of of the first run, and we'll be able to actually see it running by just showing the voltage increase. Yeah, I'll stop the video after I get to the next location for my next errand. It's probably running pretty long and I'm probably repeating myself. But yeah, that's kind of the thing that I'm going to do. The next video will be that. Some concerns are no rear brake. This wheel sucks, it's super untrue. It's untrue both in the lateral and also the vertical and horizontally untrue. So at low speeds, it kind of wobbles a little bit. And obviously, it's super uncomfortable, and it kind of sucks for efficiency. No rear brake. Yeah, once everything's running and I feel comfortable with the entire system, one of my goals is actually to ride it across the state. Which is going to be 500, 600 miles. Obviously, to do that on an e-bike, you're going to have to plan ahead quite a bit. But with the generator, I don't have to plan as much, and I think I can go much faster and much longer than a conventional e-bike. And there's actually not a lot of like touring videos for e-bike. There's a billion for this like regular biking. But there's really none for e-biking, and that's, obviously I think part of the reason is that if you're touring, oftentimes you're in a campground or something like that, right? Or just on the side of the road or some BLM land or something like that, or just somewhere, and you're not going to have an outlet to charge your bike. And if you're motorcycle touring, obviously you just have you might bring some extra gas along, and that's exactly what this generator hybrid setup is going to be. If I'm going for touring, I'm just going to bring like an extra half a gallon jug or 2 liters of yeah, see that front brake is so bad too. 2 liters of gasoline just extra. The generator takes like a half a gallon or less of fuel, so that should allow me like 16 hours, maybe 16 hours of runtime. So 16 hours times 270, let's say 250 watt hours times 16, that's maybe like 2.3 times or 2.5 times my battery. That's pretty good, right? And obviously that assumes that that's the total runtime. Of course there's going to be gas stations along the way where I can just refill. But anyway, that's the video for now. Thanks for watching. I'm at 81.8 volts, so I dropped about a volt during the entire run. It's pretty good. The weather is getting nicer, so the battery's performing really well. Alright, talk to you guys later.